branch line. Yeah, then we're one way or the other.
All right. Now
Okay.
we're going to use the same engines or not use the same engines?
Yeah, use the same
How much is leaving on there then? In fact, I guess pull it up where we're going to start.
Well, no, let's do the branch line on the other end.
Oh, that's right, you're going to come down rather than go up.
And just bring your engines over to the other yard. Yeah, and the camera. And he's gonna run down here through this nice bridge here. Through here, around, over here. It's gonna end, it's gonna come right down here over these bridges, right, through here, around, and then maybe from under here. That might be a nice view, I don't know.
And then stop the video there.
Yeah, we'll stop the video somewhere in there.
Okay, and then start another one. Right over here. Start over here. Here, I'm right here. Oh, okay. Good. I'll do it over here. You got my pad and paper, write that down. So video number.
Now, the Alpha Cement Company that's over there actually exists up in Martin Creek, Pennsylvania, above Easton.
Okay.
And they still run trains up through there to go to the one.
Oh, wait, they drove by there.
It's pretty well decimated now, but.
Do we go? We go to a guy named Ed Shue. Okay, now you can go for real.
Not easy amongst the trees, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, it wasn't too bad, really, but I figured I'd just, you know,
Yeah, you never know.
oh, we got time.
I don't want it to stall.
Well, if it stalls, it's bombs the engine.
Back to two separate railroads in a year or two, just to, because it gets monotonous having the exact same operation all the time. Then I get to laugh at the guys that make mistakes. It's all.
You have to be retrained.
Well, it is a trained layout, so it's retrained.
This will be right through there. Trees hanging over.
Yeah. That's supposed to be the origin of Lee Lake in there. Back in the yard. Okay, what do you do? You were a good guy. Only problem with birds is the ladder.
You are high.
Yeah, because I wanted to be real.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's a year work. Bend it over, yeah.
Well, no, I'm only on my toes.
And with one of those little scooters, you slide around.
Yeah, right. Well, DCC.
And the yard thing. Come around the back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the game.
Plus, there's enough trees there that it gives you blocks the view of all.
Of everybody standing there watching.
Yeah, I think the next one is going to continue on. Okay. Okay, we finished up there, now we're going to continue on, right? And go down to, what, over there, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be video number 5. So that's going to go from Norton. Ready to rock and roll? Yep. You can go.
But what they really appreciated was I had we had, what, 3 engineers and both yard guys working. So when they came here, the railroad was actually working, and, you know, trains were
It was
running.
almost like a regular
Yeah,
operating
so-
section,
yeah.
yeah, so people actually saw things
Rather
working.
than just come and walk and, oh, everything looks nice and move on, so they stayed. That's why we started to get, I mean, you couldn't move in the basement because I didn't have a, you know, they said, Jim Homoki said to me, he said, you know, you should have had paint sticks. And let 10 people come down, and as the paint sticks come back up, the next person comes down.
Right.
I said, well, I didn't expect.
That's on the layout. I mean,
Well, the double bridges there would probably be good, right?
I gotta get my car. You have my car? No. Oh, it's still over there, okay. I'll have to work on that when I get home.
We thought you'd leave that. With the camera, of course.
I broke the coupler finally came off.
Well, you don't really use it. don't you?
Well, you know what? I do use that when I do what I call caboose view,
Oh,
which I take the camera, the camera car and put it in the back of a train and have a couple of flat cars in front of it, so you're not looking at the back of a box car, let's say, right? And then you put maybe 3 or 4 flat cars, and maybe a box car and a tanker car and the engine. And you watch it snake around the railroad, just like that.
cool, yeah.
Like the guy sitting in the caboose would probably screw that up. I'll just replace the whole truck when I get home. We're gonna have plenty of videos for you.
You have some spare ones around if you want to put a new one on now.
No, all right, I can do it.
Makes it so much easier to stage,
Yeah.
so it's easy, but trains are shorter, makes it easier on the engineers and stuff, you know.
We operate on this one guy's layout. You go from Victorville to Los Angeles, Victorville Yard to Los Angeles Yard. And when you pull your train out, that's the empty track now. When you get the other end, you got one track.
Well, that's why I tell the guys here when that happens, that's what happens in the railroad, you gotta help hold yourself out in the last holding track and wait for the other train to depart. It's probably when they fired up the brakes, one of the cars the brakes weren't working, so instead of departing at 1 PM, they're departing at 2 PM, so but I usually have one empty track at each yard that they can go into. Can't erase that, so.
Don't worry about it, it's not bad. All right, I want to see what's there or not. Now, once Tom and Don get their NMRA cards, membership cards, I told them to give me a call. And I'll come back and see if they qualify for any AP certificates. I'm over 90% sure they qualify for bonus, but you're familiar with that, right? With Dennis Awards and all?
I terminated my membership.
Did you?
After 3 years in my head. So I had no idea what they were talking about. What's on the
What, you jelly bean for blood sugar? Yeah. Whoa. Jelly bean pops them up, huh?
This man is a miracle. He survived diabetes for what now, 60 years almost?
No, 49.
49 years? I mean, not many people make it, you know, 25 or 30.
That's great. And you look good. I mean, you look healthy. You don't look like this. Now, how far are you close to the river check like that?
Oh, maybe 150 feet.
Really? I guess
Up in the air.
Yeah, I guess in the wintertime when the leaves drop.
Oh, yeah.
It's seasonal.
We get about 25, between 25 and 28 trains a day.
Wow.
Lately, they've been shutting down for a few hours during the day because they're doing a lot of work over in Manville. So they're like around 4 o'clock sometimes, we get 3 or 4 trains through. I've got 2 or 3 eastbound and 2 or 3 westbound.
It's always freight, right? Remember I talked to you?
Well, every once in a while, the president's train will go through, the local Southern president's train. Then they have the rail rider goes through, and that goes through, that's exciting. Because it's like a big caterpillar, it must be at least a quarter-mile long, with all the different parts they have on it. The last part is a big spray machine with put out the fires from all the sparks being shot off on the ride
Okay, so you've got the railhead that sticks up at that high, and like you say, it curves over here. So I guess they ground it down enough that at the end of that curve, it's straight. Yeah, it did.
Doesn't look any different to me when you got how you go through. They try to do it once a year. You figure, you know, you got 150 cars on 20-some trains, probably average about 100 cars per train. And you got 4 wheel sets in each car. It's 400 wheel sets, plus the engines, times 25 every day. It's a lot of wear and tear on metal. Did you get that in your training for the strength of metal?
Well, no.
Norton is PA?
That's the only place it's New Jersey is Delaware over here.
Okay. Now, what's your email address?
p.grill@verizon.net. I usually don't have it. Computers and me are foreign language, that's for sure. Work on a farm, so I need to know what the weather is.
Oh, you work on a farm? Is that what you did for your livelihood? A couple years ago?
No, I was a school teacher to start with.
Were you
For the
really?
last 25 years I've been farming.
No kidding.
That's what, 30 years. Bridgewater area school system.
Did you have your own farm?
No, but my grandparents did, and my father had, well, we had some chickens and we had peaches. But all of my mother's family were all farmers, so I spent almost every summer when I was, up till I was 16 on a farm somewhere. And I became an athlete. Farming and athletes didn't work too well. The Olympics I was scheduled to go to was Russia, 1980. And little Carter sent all those people out to the training center. We were voting, the different governing bodies of the sports were ready to vote on whether we were going to go or not. We voted to go. They wouldn't give us any visas. Wouldn't give us the paperwork to get out of the country. Carter shut that all down. We punished Russia, we punished our athletes that had worked all their life. So then I worked with the teams for the '84 Olympics, but I retired in '83 from coaching at the National Armstrong when he was still legitimate. As a junior, and Greg LeMond, who won the Tour de France 3 or 4 times, world champion and all. So I was blessed as a coach to work with athletes that were